Hello, students. Yes, we meet once again. Today we are moving on to lesson 6 of sequence. And today we'll be doing direct instruction and we'll be talking about the end term. So, by the end of the lesson, you should be able to state the end term formula for an arithmetic sequence. Explain what each part means and use it to find any specific term without listing all terms before it. And the second objective is apply the formula in reverse to find the position when the term value is known, or to find A, the first term, or D, the common difference when other information is given. So let's move on. You remember in our 5th lesson we were talking about the staircase. Okay, so we knew the height of the staircase, and so we could calculate each subsequent staircase. Good. So today we are going to see what happens when we want to calculate the position of a staircase, or the value or the height of a staircase, which are not subsequent, or which are not consecutive numbers. Okay, so for example, we may have the first 2 staircases and we are asked to find the 50th, the 20th, the 10th staircase. Okay, good. So this is our objective today. We want to state the end formula of arithmetic progression. We also want to explain what A, N, and D means. Then we want to learn how to apply the formula in reverse. Okay. All right. So let's look at it. So if you remember the 5th lesson, each height is 20 centimeters. So we can easily identify this is the first step, the height. We could tell the height of the second step. We could tell the height of the third step. We could tell the height of the 5th step. Now we want to ask ourselves, what if we want to find the height of the 50th step or the 100th step? Are we going to add 20 centimeters each 50 times to get that number, or 100 times to get that number? Okay, and that is why the general formula for arithmetic progression is important. Okay, so let's look at the jams. Now we have step 1. The first step. So the first term will give us the first term. Okay, yes, and it is equal, or it is mapping to A plus 0D. Why? Look here, The first term is 20. The second term is 40. Okay. Now we can find the common difference. We can find the common difference, which is 40 minus the 20 will give us 20. So the 20 is equal to D. So for the first term, we add 0D. We can't add the D because that's the first term. Okay, so the first term will always A. Now, how did you get the second term? 40. So if first term is 20 and the common difference between the first term and the second term is 20, which is D, it means to get the second term I have to add another 20, which is equal to the common difference. Okay, good. Now I want to come to the third term. To get a third term, I have to add another 20, which is the common difference. And so if I'm putting this together, I have the 20 plus 2 of the D. 2 of the D. The first 20 is here. The second 20 is here, which is 2D. Okay, and this is equal to the third term. Now, how do I get the fourth term? I take the first term here, which is 20, and I add 3 times the D to it. You see it? Good. We have learned how to break this already. Okay, good. So let's take note. So the term number n appears in the bracket. Okay, every time minus 1. So let's come to the general term, which is the n term is equal to A plus into bracket. Please don't forget this. Always remember the n is always minus 1. The n is always minus 1. And the n we're talking about is the position. So if I want to find, let's say, the 50th term, okay, we have the 4th term here, so let's go to the 5th term. The 5th term, I will choose my first. You see that the n is now 5. Okay, n is now equal to the 5 here. So I'll choose my A, which is the first term, plus, you know that if I have, look at the 4th term. To get the 5th term, I have to add another D to the 3D. Okay, I have to add another D to the 3D to get 4D. And so how do I get 4? The 4 is the n, the 5 minus 1. You see it? And the 5 is what is here. And so it is n minus 1. Sorry, minus 1. Okay, times the D. Please, the n is always in the bracket with a minus 1. Don't just write ND, because that's not what it is. Okay, good. So this is our general term for arithmetic progression or the linear sequence. So the n term, the un, is the value of the term at position n. Please, when we work all this out, when we're able to solve this, we will get a value. we will get a value, and that value is equal to the n term. Okay, so whatever I put here, I come and put here, I subtract, and when I work everything out, I'll get a value, and that value is the value at that position 10. Okay, good. Now the a is the first term. The a is the first term. The n is the position. Please, is the position, and we always pick it from here. The n is the position. So the 10th position, n will be 10. Okay, good. The 50th term, n will be 50. All right. Then d is the common difference. D is the common difference. Okay, so let's see. Let's try this and see. If I want the system, what do I substitute for n? Okay, so if I want the system, what do I substitute for n? Is 6. Okay, and when I subtract, I will get 5d. So you see that to get the system, I have to add the first term to 5 times the common difference. Okay, all right. So let's see how we can go about it. Please, these are specialized tuition. I've taken my time to prepare these notes, and I need you to use your learning materials to practice this. Okay, it's very important. Good. Now we talk about identity. Okay, when you are given a question, you extract the a, the first term, the common difference, and the position from the question. Is very important. Okay, good. So now we are going to talk about the 5th position. Okay, we want to know the height of the steps at the 50th position. At the 50th position. So when you are given the question like that, the first step is that we extract the identities. The first term, the common difference, and the position we need. Okay, we have already talked about it. The first term was 20. The common difference we did was 20, and now we are asked to look for the value of, or the height of the steps at the 50th position. Okay, so then we put it in our equation like this nicely. The n is 50 plus a. There's it. Plus a into bracket 50 minus 1. Okay, now calculate the value and simplify. Then you come to the test step. 50 minus 1 is 49. 49 times 20 will give us a value. So 20 plus, okay, let's calculate 2 times 49. 2 times 40 is 80. 2 times 9 is 18. So 80 plus 18 is 98. So 980 plus our 20, we have 1000 centimeters. Okay, 1000 centimeters. Okay, all right, let's look at this one too. Okay, so if an AP has first term 3, the common difference 7. Okay, so we want to find the 10th position, or the height of the 10th term. What will we get? Okay, if we are talking about stairs, what will be the value? The answer is 66, but I want to work it out. Okay, so we state our formula. First state the formula, then we look for our identities. We have A equals 3, we have D equals 7, we have N equals 10. Okay, so the 10th term is equal to our first term, which is 3 plus into brackets N. Our N is 10 minus 1 times D. Our D is 7. Okay, so we can easily do the subtraction. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 times 7 is 63. So 63 plus 3 will give us the 66. Okay, so I want you to just look at this example, pause the video and try it out. Okay, see if you can work it out the same way. Good. There's a common mistake here. There's a common mistake here that you have to take note of. You see that here it means that it is N times D. Okay, these are common mistakes students do, so pay attention. You don't put all the 29 here. It is N minus 1, so 21 should be in brackets with minus 1. All right, good. Now take note of this. Thank you. Okay, so this is a summary to help you remember some of the things we've thought about. All right, now I want to talk about the reverse solution. Okay, good. You see, we can easily find the n term. Good. This time we want to use the formula to find any other term. So our n term is equal to A plus into brackets N minus 1 times D. Okay, this is a linear equation, and so if you know some of the terms, you can look for the rates. All right, you can look for the rate. So let's look at this example here. Where term of the AP 4, 8, 12, 16 equals 52. Okay, Now what do you do? First step, look for the identity. A is 4. D is 4. How do you get a D? D is 8 minus 4 or 16 minus 12 or 12 minus 8. Okay, or 12 minus 8. Just a minute. (12 minus 8). Okay, good. And now, what is our n? We're looking for the position. So we don't have n, but we have the value for the nth position. Okay, the un is 52. Okay, so we put the value in like this. Simultaneous equation, sorry, linear equation, forgive me please. So you multiply through. Okay, there's a 4 here, 4, so the 4 comes to this side to subtract the 52, we get 48, and that's what you have. So you multiply through. You can also divide through by 40, the 4. When you divide through, we have 12 is equal to, so here 48 is equal to 4 into bracket n minus 1. Okay, there's 4 here, divide here by 4, we divide here by 4, we have 12 is equal to n minus 1. Okay, we bring the negative 1 to this side. It is 12 plus 1 will give us 13. Okay, so now we can find the value of n, and n is 13. So the 13th term is equal to 52. Okay, thank you so much. Let's move on. Okay, so you can practice this. Pause the video and practice this one. And let's see, let's find the value. Okay, the missing value, we find it. Okay, there is also another example. All right, now here we are finding 2 missing values. Okay, yes, so you see that because you need 2 missing values, we are able to work out with 2 different equations. Okay, you'll be given 2 different equations, then we can work simultaneously. So we are told that the 13th term is equal to 10. So we know what n is. N is 13, and we know u13, the 13th term is 10. Okay, good. We come to another one, the 25th term. N equals 25, so the 25th term is also equal to 20. They want us to find the common difference, the first term, then we can find the value at the position 17. Okay, so this is how it has been laid out for us. Please don't confuse yourself, okay? The 12D is the same as saying 13 minus 1 all times D. Okay, you can do that. So we are just taking the 1 off already. It's 25th term. Why is 24 here? It is 25 minus 1 times D. Okay, so we have equation 1 and equation 2. Now in simultaneous equation, we want to use elimination method. Okay, good. We can subtract one equation from the other. Mostly we try our best to make sure that when we do the subtraction, one of the missing term will be gone, so that we can solve for only one. Okay, so let's look at this. We are taking equation 1 from equation 2. So equation 2 minus 1. Okay, equation 2 minus equation 1. And what is it? This equation 2. Okay, this equation 1, this equation 2, this equation 1. So we have a minus a. Its a's will cancel out. We have 24D minus 12D. We will get 12D. We have 20 minus 10. We will get 10. What do? We can now divide through by 12. Okay, we divide through by 12. So we divide 12D by 12. We divide 10D by 12. When we simplify, this is what we get. So now we have the value for D as 5 divided by 6. Now how do we get A? Yes, you can now put the D into any of the two equations to solve it. Okay, so you can see that here we place the D, the value for D, the 5 on 6, into the first equation. Okay, so we see that look here, if you multiply 12 by 5 over 6, the 6 will cancel the 12 2. Okay, so 2 times 5 is 10. You see it? 2 times 5 is 10. So we are going to have a plus 10 is equal to 10. A plus 10 is equal to 10. A plus 10 is equal to 10. Okay, and so when the 10 goes to the other side, going to be negative. So 10 minus 10 is 0. So our first term is 0. Our first term is 0. Good. Now we have the position for n. We have our first term. We have our common difference. We have n to be 17. We can solve this question. We can solve this question. Thank you. All right, so this is another work example. Go through it and study it accordingly. All right, and these are misconceptions. Please pay attention. Okay, we have said them already. I want to repeat. Be careful with the n minus 1. Please, it is n minus 1. So this equation is wrong. Okay, it's always n minus 1 times d. Good. We come to another one. Look here, the common difference is wrong. Okay, we always subtract the first from the second, the first from the second. So if I have negative 6 minus negative 12, the negative here will give me positive. So my answer will be negative 6 plus 12, which will give me 6. Please be careful with the subtraction direction. Okay. Now, you always have to verify. Okay. Verify the reverse, please. Verify. Okay. All right. So engage yourself with this. Practice these ones. These are just methods to help you do the work faster and easier. Okay. All right. Thank you. God bless you. See you in the next lesson.